How's it going, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install the Zippy spacers in the BRS Barebones. In this case, I'm working on the bushing TiBones, but note that the flush spacers are compatible with all of the sandwich Barebones models, including the V1 stainless, V2 stainless, as well as the washer and bushing TiBones. The spacer also comes in a different variant with a very small extension designed to protect the handles from drops and round off these sharp corners, which can be uncomfortable during certain types of fan tricks. And this extension is only compatible with the bushing TiBones because the slab thickness is slightly different from the bushing TiBones to the other models. Critically, the flush spacer is about 33% lighter than the stock barrels, which weigh in at 0.040 ounces. The flush spacer is 0.03 ounces and distributes the weight along a broader area, so it's noticeably less handle biased. And then the extension spacer is slightly lighter at 0.037 ounces, slightly lighter than the stock barrels, and has pretty much the same balance as the stock barrels. Now, I've already got one extension spacer installed on the bite handle, so we're going to do the safe handle together. The installation is going to be identical between the flush and the extension spacer, so I'm going to put on an extension spacer. Now, at this point, I highly recommend you tape the blade. The sex bolts, in many cases, are free spinning. In other cases, appear to be friction fit into the bores, and any sudden jerking movement when it requires a lot of force to remove them could be prone to cuts, as I myself have experienced on multiple occasions. So I've already done the bite spacer. I'm going to ignore my own advice. I did have the blade taped when I put on this spacer. So let's go ahead and do the safe spacer together, and I do highly encourage you to tape your blade. So first I'm going to undo the spacer screws. You'll see mine come out remarkably easy, and they're probably going to be a little bit easier than yours. And the reason for that is I spent about an hour cleaning out all of the thread lock and gunk from the inside of the threads. So what happened to me was my sex bolts weren't spinning, but they were stuck, so I couldn't pop them out easily like I just did. When I did get them out by applying a ton of force, what I did is I had a hex key. I put it flat on the table. I actually had it like this, and then I pushed down like that. And then before I installed anything again, I took a paper towel. I rolled up the corner of it like this, dunked it in 91% isopropyl alcohol, and then threaded into the sex bolt. I did that about 5 times for each sex bolt until I was getting no more black gunk on the paper towel. And that's the only way you're gonna stop your sex bolts from spinning, because there's a lot of gunk and Loctite on the interior of these. So if you wanna successfully install your spacers and not have a headache, I recommend you take the time to clean out the interior of the sex bolts very thoroughly, following the procedure I just outlined. All right. I'm going to assume you are going to pause this video and do that now. I'm going to progress with the installation. So at this point, I could either install these are the barrels, either install the flush spacer or the extension. I'm going to install the extension here, and just like that, I'm going to line up the holes and insert the sex bolts. One and two. The extension is actually a little bit easier to install because the flat part of the extension kind of lines everything up for you. You might need to wiggle the spacer around a little more on the flush one to get all the holes lined up nicely. All right, now I'm just going to replace the screws here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw in each one a little bit. All right, now they're both threaded. So I'm just gonna kind of alternate, threading one, threading the other, threading one, threading the other, until there's resistance and I just can't thread anymore. You'll notice I'm using a fairly small diameter handle, so I'm not applying a lot of torque to these. I'm just twisting until they don't want to twist anymore. I'm not full cranking it like the Hulk. I don't want to over tighten. But yeah, it doesn't want to turn anymore. And that looks good to me. So you've just successfully installed the Zippy spacers for the BRS Barebones. In this case, a titanium bushing Barebones, but the flush spacers will work with all Barebones variants, be they stainless, titanium, washer, or bushing. That's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching.